What we have here is a model that is showing us the dural sinuses located in some of the falx cerebri. So we're looking at the two cerebral hemispheres here. And if I were to take this structure out, this would be the longitudinal fissure. What you're seeing is some of the meninges covering half of the brain, and then these meninges would dive into the longitudinal fissure to create a dural wall known as a dural septum. The one specifically here in the longitudinal fissure is known as the falx cerebri. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out and show you the falx cerebri. In the falx cerebri, we have two dural sinuses. We have a superior sagittal sinus and an inferior sagittal sinus. We can see this in another model right here. So this is the falx cerebri I just pulled out of our brain model. And this is showing you a mid-sagittal section through the brain where we see the falx cerebri. The falx cerebri again contains a superior sagittal sinus which drains the blood from the brain as well as the CSF, as does the inferior sagittal sinus. Now you have to remember there's a cerebrum here that we've removed, and then you can see the cerebellum below it. Technically, the transverse fissure separates the cerebrum from the cerebellum. And in the transverse fissure, we have a dural septum known as the tentorium cerebelli. It would create a tent over the cerebellum. In the tentorium cerebelli, we would have the transverse sinus, which you can't see here. What you can see, though, is the straight sinus. So the straight sinus would be in the tentorium cerebelli. I can show this to you using this model to help you understand. So again, this right here is the transverse fissure. And if the meninges folded into the transverse fissure right here and wiggled in, it would form a tent over the cerebellum, creating the tentorium cerebelli, which is a dural septum. There's one other place where we can see some of the dural sinuses, and that is on one of our cranial models. In this model here, we are able to see the transverse sinus coming around the side of the skull. It would be traveling in the tentorium cerebelli, which is not represented here. And then the straight sinus would be coming out right here, straight like this.